Boxing sucks balls. I can't believe we're back talking about boxing, but here we are. We have to talk about Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven. Rico Verhoeven, one of the greatest heavyweight kickboxers from Glory, in his only second professional boxing match against easily the best heavyweight boxer right now and easily the best heavyweight boxer of our generation, was a round away from getting the generational upset but was robbed by the corrupt sport that is boxing. And again, boxing has shown that it cannot let outsiders beat their best. This is another Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury situation. Boxing can't fathom an outsider like an MMA guy or a kickboxing guy coming into the sport and beating their best, so they have to pull this off to cover their ass. In today's video, let's break down Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven, one of the worst moments in boxing history, and let's expose how corrupt this sport actually is. Rico Verhoeven was supposed to have no chance in this fight. Usyk was a massive betting favorite at around minus 2,500 to minus 3,000, which is about a 96% chance that Usyk was supposed to win. Verhoeven had next to no shot at beating the best heavyweight and generational talent that is Alexander Usyk. But not only did he show he had a much better chance than 5%, he was clearly winning this fight. And no, I'm not going to say arguably, he was very clearly winning this fight. Look at the scorecards from the media. Pretty much everyone had it 7-3 Verhoeven or 8-2 Verhoeven. Up until the 10th, in my opinion, the only rounds that you could give Usyk is probably round 4, clearly, round 5, and maybe round 10, and that's it. For the most part, Verhoeven was keeping Usyk on the back foot and kept the pressure on Alexander Usyk. You guys have heard of the Philly shell. Verhoeven was in the turtle shell the whole time and was winning. He suffocated the space between him and Usyk and was throwing third, like I like to say. Verhoeven would throw a multi-punch combination, Usyk would fire back, and in the window, Usyk would stop throwing and think the exchange was over. Verhoeven would throw another big punch, essentially the third time a punch was thrown in the exchange, and this would catch Usyk off guard. Despite Alexander Usyk being the smaller guy in these heavyweight matches, Usyk operates very well when he has space and moves in and out. He operates the best when his opponents don't move forward or much at all and throws big single punches. Usyk in these matchups take advantage of the space by utilizing his footwork, slipping these long punches, and moving in to throw his own offense. And when he gets downhill and his opponents are on the ropes, this hand speed and volume often takes over. But with Rico Verhoeven moving forward, putting this volume and pressure constantly on him and not allowing Usyk to stick and move, it was hard for Alexander Usyk to get a good rhythm, leading to Verhoeven controlling most of the rounds and Usyk looking inactive. But eventually Usyk did figure it out. Because Verhoeven was in this turtle shell and bending so low, he was just begging for an uppercut, which Usyk delivered in that 11th. Usyk put up these pitter-patter shots to get Verhoeven's guard up and get his head low, and when that opening came, Usyk threw a nasty uppercut that sent Verhoeven to the ropes and almost out of the ring. And this is where we first get a little controversy. The ref took way too long to get the mouthpiece, giving Verhoeven like 10 seconds to recover. But no matter, the action would begin again, leading to Usyk letting go of a combination that stopped the fight. What the hell was even that? Bro, I get Verhoeven was hurt, but you cannot stop the fight right there. You just can't. First of all, this was after the bell. The bell clearly rings, and then the ref calls the fight. Verhoeven should have been saved by the bell here and continued in the 12th. And even if the bell didn't ring here, this was nowhere near a stoppage. I've seen some brain-dead takes from the boxing community talking about great stoppage, the ref saved Verhoeven for more damage, blah, blah, blah. But dude, you're an idiot. In this combination, Usyk landed maybe 2 or 3 times and never was Verhoeven even close to getting down. And I saw some people even say, what's the point of letting Verhoeven continue? Bro, he was probably up or should have been up on the scorecards. That's why. And he definitely would have survived the 12th. Verhoeven has come back from way worse in kickboxing. This was a classic moment in Verhoeven's career when he came back from Ben Sadiq. This dude got dropped bad twice by a way bigger man and was starting to get pummeled by Sadiq in the second round. But what happened? He started to come back in the same round, push the action, and completely changed the momentum. He goes on to drop Ben Sadiq, which led to the finish. Or look at the Richter's fight. Verhoeven got hit with a spinning back fist from hell. And you want to talk about spaghetti legs? Verhoeven looked like he was going to fail a sobriety test when he got up, but a couple rounds later, Rico recovered, chopped down Richter's to finish him and retain the heavyweight belt. And you want to talk about actual stoppages in boxing? Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk won should have been a stoppage if we're stopping the Rico fight. Fury was stumbling like a mother, bouncing on the ropes like a bumper car, and instead of stopping the fight, the ref kept the fight going, and this went to decision. I refuse to believe that Usyk would have stopped Verhoeven in the 12th, based on Verhoeven's ability to recover and Usyk usually not being able to finish his opponents in later rounds when he has them hurt. These same idiots are probably the same guys that glazed that Fury was able to survive this knockdown against Deontay Wilder in their first fight. It should have been the same thing here. Verhoeven probably should have been up on the scorecards, and we probably would have seen this fight end in a decision. But let me specify, he should have been up on the scorecards. The thing is, I'm not even sure Verhoeven would have won even if he survived the 12th, much less won that 12th round. The scorecards were much worse than the stoppage because the judges had all the time in the world to assess each round and didn't have to make a split-second decision. Again, most sane people had Verhoeven up either 8-2 or 7-3. Maybe, just maybe if you were nice for Usyk, 6-4. But one of the judges had it 5-5 going into the 11th, and another judge had it 6-4 for Usyk. If you didn't think boxing's corrupted and rigged, I don't know what I can show you. The 8th round for Usyk is straight up disrespectful. Verhoeven landed much more, landed the biggest shot in that round that clearly hurt Usyk and put him on the ropes for a majority of this round. So you're telling me if this fight was going 5-5 into the 11th, and if the ref let this fight go on, it would have been 105-103 because of the 10-8 knockdown for Usyk. Meaning, if Verhoeven wins that last round, after outlanding Usyk for pretty much every round, he still would have lost 114-113. How we completely lost the plot, bro. Everything was against Verhoeven this night. The judges, the ref, the entire sport. They can't admit that they're not even the best at what they do. I love Usyk, trust me. I've made so many videos on how great he is and how he exposed this generation of heavyweight boxers, and this is the one take I think that has aged well. This generation of heavyweight sucks. If the best heavyweight in the world is getting outclassed for a majority of rounds by a kickboxer in their second professional fight, and that heavyweight boxer outclass each next best heavyweight twice, what the hell does that say about the sport of boxing, and heavyweight boxing in particular? It's a damn shame what happened to Rico Verhoeven, and it sucks that the reputation of boxing will always be this until they rid the sport of this corruption, rid the sport of all this bullshit. Boxing fans have no argument. Boxing sucks now. They're not even the best at what they do. If a kickboxer and an MMA guy can come in against the best heavyweights at that time and pretty much win the fight. Yeah, I don't know. This sport continues to disappoint me. It could be so much better because on paper it is two guys just punching, which is obviously the best part of a fight, but until they rid the sport of all its problems, the best not fighting the best, the cards fucking sucking, and then also the corruption and the rigging that goes on, it's just going to continue to suck. There is no argument. Boxing blows. Anyways, what do you think about Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven? What do you think about the sport in general? It's kind of why I stopped watching boxing and taken less interest in the sport and transitioned pretty much completely into MMA and UFC. But I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on the state of combat sports, especially boxing. Thank you guys for always watching and supporting, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.